Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Who's Lila. This is probably going to be the first episode in a while to actually have a proper intro because, well, I played the rest in one go. And I'm at a little bit of a loss for where to go from here. We've collected 8 of the 15 cards and seen, I guess, as many possibilities. But last time things changed pretty massively as Lila successfully convinced you, and therefore me, to kill William. Unfortunately, that's not how we learn this works. It would have to be everyone who knows of her existence. So where do we go from here? Hang on, wait. Oh, wait! Was that always like that, or did it change? Look. Look. On the Steam banner, I just noticed this when I was alt-tabbed out in Firefox. 3816. That's gotta go somewhere, right? And this game would pull something like this. Hang on. Let's wait, how will we... I think I already have a save in Will's apartment, thankfully. There we go. I can't do anything from here. Just have to exit. You said simply that you know the code before. Wait. 3, 8, 1, 6. That was it. You've got to be kidding me. That's actually kind of annoying. July 13th. I've been helping out at the little farm near Father Lawrence's church. I'm not sure what he needs all those animals for, though. No one from the Brethren seems to be eating them, yet some animals disappear after time. Is he breeding and selling them or something? It's confusing. July 14th. They say I'm pretty good with Lila's enforcement. Father Lawrence told me not to write her name down, but I'd rather trust her than him. I think the others may be jealous, since she started talking to me so quickly. Oh, you fool. Part of the page is torn. September 12th. I don't think they know what they're talking about. Tulpas are a very personal thing. It can't be that their Lila's the same as mine. It's just a part of me. It can't be connected to them. That's what she wants you to think. Also, I now realize earlier in the police interview where they seized this notebook, well, that would have essentially guaranteed that she got out, right? That it would have been in court docs that a lot of people would have read about her. We are not connected. September 15th. She scared me today, by the way. Lila did. She started talking about the prince and stuff. The prince sounds like a card. Not the musician. She has her own idea of how things like personalities and ecos work. I don't believe her, but for a moment I felt really lost and unsure of what my me really consists of. Lila, when you'll be reading this, don't scare me like this again. I'm already becoming kinda unsure about this whole thing. Still love you, though. There's a bunch of pages torn. November 20th. It can't be, they just look similar. It's her. I forgot for a time, but I recall her face. It's her. It cannot be not her. December 3rd. Today is the day. Today is the day. Absolute obsession. You had broken away, had successfully erased your memory, which means that maybe there is a way to do this, but it's definitely too late for you, and any recollection will bring her back. She doesn't cease to exist. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's been like a week and a half since I played last, and so I'm forgetting some things, I'm sure. Now, even though I loaded into Will's apartment, I do remember that the game had reset last time. We've still got all our inventory items, but for the first time, we're starting all the way back. So some things may have changed. From this perspective, we may also be able to mess with like the timing on locations. So what happens if we go to Martha's apartment now? Too early to be here. We don't have Martha's keys anyway. There we go. Let's not close our eyes. Do not close our eyes. I'm not quite sure what just happened, but we may have gotten something new. Death. That wasn't there before. Should be one that we have not listened to. Are you afraid of death? I think death means different things to us, you. I won't die if you shoot a gun at me. But a full understanding of my story, a loss of interest that closure brings, that's... well, never mind. Forget it. That's why the game can never end. What about you? I'm not sure. I've died many times, but all I was met with was a different dream. Along your path, have you ever stumbled upon a man with 6 arms and snake eyes? I have, just once. When you leave me, and this dream, try to recall what he said. You're in a very special position right now. You have the opportunity to either jump into the wheel again, or be free of dreams forever. Don't waste it. This time, try to make death be the end of you. Wow, you really want to make sure we get it, huh? We have to get back to the dream. It's such a shame we have. I wish we could talk more like this, you. We seem to have exhausted the cards, blah blah blah. So now you're talking about something else entirely. 6 arms and snake eyes. I'm trying to think, does that remind us of anything we've seen? Okay, this is really annoying, but I'm really glad I just found this out. Apparently, in the little pop-up window that is under the game when you bring this up, it will bring up subtitles. So the demon is subtitled in that, not in the game itself. So here's the little guy. The calamity happened on 13/11. 13/11. Is that a date? What do I do with that? Yeah, once again, look this one up, and apparently we're supposed to change our system time to November 13th. I realized it was a date. I would not have ever realized that we have to change our system time. This is what annoys me about ARG aspects, but let's do it. Okay, my system clock is now November 13th. It doesn't seem to have done anything to this painting, though. The one that sort of seems like the dream that Tanya described in her text. Hey. Please, don't go closer. Stay in the corner there, please. They're all dead, aren't they? The newsletter said so. Even Father Lawrence. What? And I have to say it now. Lila, I won't kill any more animals for you. That dog was... Lila. Why did you tell me to stay home that day? I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. You have to leave. I don't know where. You must be just a piece of me. You're not more than I am. So why can't you just leave? Please. Oh, look at that movement. You like tear through the graphics of the game itself. Please stop with this nonsense, Will. You know I can't leave you. But something has to change. Don't worry too much about it. It's important to keep a clear mind. It'll be just like a swap of lenses in a kaleidoscope. Or reels in a movie projector. Yeah, you talked about the projector. Don't run from it. Just let me... No! Don't touch me! The calamity. What is this place? There she is, just wandering in a desolate field. This looks like ruins. Am I meant to follow you, or am I meant to go inside the tower? Look at that, the background is like generating in like static. There's actually a pretty strong static noise when we entered. I don't know, it's like our wires are crossed, like we ourselves are glitching out at times. What is that over there? An elevator. She is walking up there, ascending into the light, sort of like the spiral staircase in the boiler room. And now I guess we're walking the rest of the way. From this angle, it looks sort of like there's an aura, glow around our character. That's really all this is like a recurring dream that starts off fairly sensical, like really more of a crime story than anything, but it just keeps devolving until we have something that introduces more elements but makes less and less sense as we go. You talk about all these reels, the projector, of this being different dreams. She's like the light in a lighthouse. So I take it we have to avoid her then. Go, go, go. She's going to follow us. We need to make our way around here and to the exit. It looks like a theater. Okay, this is starting to remind me much more of Inland Empire than Lost Highway. A projector. Is this it? Is this the room with the reels? Junk reels, yeah, maybe to you. You acquired the other reel. That's what the wheels are. A piece of strange machinery will have removed a reel. Now there's just one. We've got two of them now. And you're sure we can't do anything with this? Put the other one in? The other one. It says Lila. I get the impression we've entered some sort of inner sanctum here. The one that she talked about. This is huge. It's useless now, Will. You think you've got the upper hand? You're just delaying the inevitable. It's no. Down it goes. The tower. Okay, well, I can't wait to tell Dr. Yu about this. It's weird. It's like William actually is an active participant in this story. He's not just a possessee, but we're kind of having this conversation over him. It's his life and the lives of his friends in the balance, but again, they are all so far beneath everything that's happening here. It just feels really unfair, I guess, from that perspective. Oh, I've got to remember to subtitle the demon right there. 1 second. What he's saying is still one of us. So that's interesting. What of the tower? So, the trickster gets tricked, eh? You could say so. It wasn't a fair play. I know, I had to enlist the help of Windows for that one. Will would have benefited so much from giving up his reel. What are these reels? What's on them? Just garbage you humans collect throughout your life? You mean your collective experience? Memories, habits? Although, sometimes you get something good. Are you referring to yourself? Well, obviously. You humans still need something to see me as. So you construct a projection of me. The same way you construct projections of other people you know. All your identities are just silly pieces of film illuminated by the prince. I get it. The prince. Or the prince. P-R-I-N-T-S. Clever. Aren't you the same? Oh, I'm so much more detective. Well, that's all for that. I've only been to the party once, so maybe we can get some more demon dialogue here? I really don't remember. There's something here. November 20th. My name is William Clark, and I was invited to a party by Matt Hurley. It's my first party in the new class. It smells nice out here. What's this? A pumpkin. You've unlocked the new palette. Ripe pumpkin. Wait, how did we get that? This is such a weird thing to collect, but it's cool. Somehow that seems fitting for this area. I've only been to the party once, so maybe we can get some more demon dialogue here? I really don't remember. There's something here. November 20th. My name is William Clark, and I was invited to a party by Matt Hurley. It's my first party in the new class. It smells nice out here. What's this? A pumpkin. You've unlocked the new palette. ripe pumpkin. Wait, how did we get that? This is such a weird thing to collect, but it's cool. Somehow that seems fitting for this area. You smiled, felt a bit awkward. Sorry, could I have a cigarette? Sure, man. Help yourself. You got a cigarette. Wait, did this happen before? I think I might have gone to them with a neutral tone to not look like a weirdo. Then again, it tells me I'm awkward every time I try to smile. Didn't Tanya say she wanted... Still want to smoke? Here. You gave her the cigarette. Yeah, I don't think this happened before. Thanks. Hey, Mike would be pissed if he saw me now. If he saw us. Yeah. You know, it may sound strange, but I feel like I've seen you too. Like in a dream or something. Have you ever been to the Sunshine Cafe, Will? You know what that is, but how could you? Is that the one down the avenue? Yeah, it's a cozy place. Huge windows and a lot of sun. Just like that picture we saw. For a moment, there's a funny feeling inside you. No, I've never been there. Oh well. Something's not right. Like, at the mere mention of it, there's just a knot in your stomach. You both stay silent for a moment. There's slow dance music playing inside. Want to dance? Yeah, we've done all this. Now it's strange, even though you have no frame of reference for it, even though you don't remember Lila in this moment, it's like something is brought back by the mention of the cafe. So I've been going around for a while trying to figure out what to do next. I'm totally out of ideas. And so I just went and looked up a guide, and it seems like from here on out, just about everything comes down to our facial expressions in certain moments. Now, I feel like we pretty thoroughly figured out who Lila is at this point and what her game is. But the question then is how to deal with her. Well, she's not really dealt with until the game is well and truly over. So we're just gonna have to go for it. Starting with Will's apartment. Mike is almost confused by my sincere, angry face. Does that work? You look scared. Mike is trying to compose himself. Look, man, I know you've had your issues with showing emotions and empathy and stuff, and that we had our differences. But please, you know I love this girl. Please tell me what you know, Will. I don't know anything, and I am following a guide for expressions here. You made a sad face. Mike seems a little calmer. Don't feel any better about lying my way through this. Really? Yes. Look, Mike, I'm as worried as you are. I know you guys don't like me that much. But we're all in it together. We'll find Tanya. Don't worry about it. The universe has better plans for you. Don't give me that crap. I'm not forgiving you two for what you did behind my... Wait. What did you say? I said we'll find Tanya. No, after that. You said the universe has better plans for you. You did, didn't you? That's what she always said. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? freak. So is that how you were planning on finding out where she is? By calling me a freak? I knew I couldn't trust you, Graves. What? So you just tricked me? You did, didn't you? You... I think he's all right now. Dr. Hades, you tossed me over the side. Like I said you should have done from the beginning. Also, very on the nose with the naming again. A very lucky young man, no? To fall from such a high roof and not even break anything. Was he on drugs? No, blood samples show he's clear. Nothing really, not even alcohol. I think he needs rest now. Where are we now? Hang on, wait. I can't save. I can't move. I can look at my inventory, but that's it. Purgatory, I guess I can do it through this menu. But am I supposed to be able to do anything? Oh. Loading that save creates a completely different room, a hospital room. Okay, I guess that was just a bug. You can never tell with a game like this. A white nightstand. It's empty. The sky is light gray, of one tone. It's so bright, it's almost white. A sterile hospital bed. It's completely black. Hang on. Am I supposed to be able to see? It sounds like I'm moving. Oh my god. Is this game just completely cracking up now? No, I can't pause anymore. Pausing shows that. I think it's completely broken. Restarting the game causes this to happen again. Am I seriously gonna have to do all of that again? Or is it just gonna be impossible to actually finish this? Yeah. So I can pause now. How does it screw up like this? Okay, this time it loaded correctly. We look completely different now. So I'm gonna go ahead and save right here, because weren't we wearing our regular clothes before? Now we've already looked at the dialogue, so let's move through here. Ward 33. This doesn't seem like a regular hospital. Well, we walked up to ourselves. So I've been meaning to ask you, but I'm not, like, visually imposing you. Where do you go? Well, nowhere really. I just stop, you know, being. Oh. A conversation between us and Lila. Must be really scary. Not really. You do it all the time too, Will. When you lose consciousness, or when you sleep without dreams. So, not existing is like being asleep? It's not really like anything. as there isn't someone for whom it's like something. Not being doesn't really happen to anybody per se. Well, you just said it happens to me sometimes. It's very bold of you to assume that some you actually exists. But, Lila, you aren't making any sense now. I am here. I'm talking to you. Is that so? And how would you describe that I don't know. Like I'm young and maybe overanalyzing and I really like lemon soda and I broke my knee when I was in kindergarten. So, you are your personality and your memories? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. That's all we've got. We didn't have the choice. I mean, even though I was holding down space and could see these additional options, my character just kind of marched right past. It's like we're playing as our own subconscious right now, or rather observing ourselves in the third person, like an out-of-body experience. Floor 1. You're starting to come undone. You see, Will, there's a problem with what you just said. Oh yeah? Yeah. Let's pretend for a moment you're right. And you really are your personality, memories, and so on. But isn't the one listening to me right now also you? Getting real meta. Huh? Sure, because that could apply to you, the conversation, or the player. And the one seeing me is you, and the one feeling all the different things is you. Let's call this you, the perceiver. Uh-huh. We like to imagine the perceiver as a pupil of an eye. The perceiver may cast his gaze upon anything. Colors or sounds, touch or feelings. But how do you imagine it looking at itself? Directly. A mirror? Oh, I wouldn't trust the mirror, my dear William. The ghosts on the other side may only look like us. So, alright, in that sense it really can't. The pupil can never see itself. So what? It means that whatever the pupil can perceive is not it. You can analyze your memories and your personality, yet the real perceiver always stays in the shadows. One of his human names is the Prince. Are you arguing for one single perceiver? Although he doesn't really have a name, of course. It's like we're trying to eavesdrop and we're routinely ejected, having to reposition so that we can hear. Yet it's a fascinating conversation. You're looking a little wheelie today. And look at that. From our perspective, she keeps changing. But from the perspective of the one in the conversation, he doesn't seem to see anything different. In that sense, there isn't really a difference between you and other people, Will. Huh? What do you mean? For you, where do other people exist? I mean, their minds, memories, and so on. In their heads? Wrong. You have no ability to see what's inside someone's head. To you, people are a fictitious creation, a number of expectations generated from their actions, a phantom existing exclusively in your head. And the funny thing is, your own personality is too. What? I'm real, Lila. Even if other people may be imagined by me, my own character is... What's the definition of imaginary? Something that exists just in my mind? You'll already see where this is going. And where does your personality reside? For that matter, where do you reside, Lila? It's all right, my sweet William. You, your memories, your mind, these are only temporary shards of colored glass, kind of like the palettes we can swap between at a whim. The visioner, the perceiver, the prince may only look through them and imagine for a moment that he is these shards. He never truly becomes them, and it's surprising how quickly he may look away from one to another. Remember, Will, the moment he looks at another one of them, he might think he's someone different. Your face changed for just a moment there. As you stare at the veil before you, wait. Jashin? As you stare at the veil before you, you are filled with emotions of strange nostalgia. The curtains flap in the wind, yet you don't feel a draft. A hauntingly beautiful melody can be heard from behind it. For a moment, you can't help but gaze at the shriveling fabric. Just another reel, another lens. Look at this! We see only from the perspective of the right of the screen, as if what we assumed to be just a visual card the entire time has actually been a window to another reality. Can I save here? I can't. We could probably mess with the projector. Hers, the one that projects her into our consciousness. But I also have the ability to move around. Oh, this is so disorienting. This area is quite wide, too. A boat beside a river. And even in these simplistic graphics, I can see the reflection on its moving waters. Okay, thankfully I have a save after the rooftop segment. Maybe this really is allowing us to have an out-of-body experience, or allowing us to perceive inward. But I think that's about all, so let's close this one. You've placed the reel. Lila must be gone now. Replaced with our own. An old-looking apparatus. Strange. Apart from projecting, it looks like it's also somehow receiving its own image. Seems like its reels are detachable. Yes, they are. So what has this changed? Either way, it doesn't seem like we can interact any further. So I guess we just go for a ride down the river? I get the feeling that we have just changed something fundamentally, that we've reached somewhere we weren't supposed to reach. And to think, this could have been one of the first endings we received. I'm actually controlling this as well. I mean, this game is delving into some extremely philosophical concepts about the perception of self and the perception of others, about the nature of reality itself. But using the medium of gaming, it's also able to tell this story in a way where it constantly shifts and makes us question our perspective in more ways than one. Whether that be literal perspective or making us question who it is we're playing as, and the answer is we're playing as all of them simultaneously. We're even playing as ourselves. And now we get the achievement, the Hanged Man. Fairly low on the tree for a hanged man, aren't we? Oh, I'm just so excited to go see Dr. Yu again after each of these things. Please, pick a card. Yeah, the demon is deactivated for now. I closed it while trying to get it to stop behaving dumbly. I thought you'd be gone after that. To be honest, I sorta did too. But there's 4 more cards, right? Well, it takes a bit more than getting rid of that stupid reel. That film reel was created by William, but I'm not contained in it. That was only his image of you. It only resembles me a little bit. You are created by perception, but the perception of many people. And so his perception of you isn't the whole thing. No one person's is. Just like Tanya. Why do you look like her? Does everyone see you the same way? The worms of Lawrence do. But there are some who can see better than others. It's always all that for just a little morsel. You say there are those who can see better than others, which implies that there is more to you. I think you don't want anyone to realize the power they really have over you. This is how it always is when it comes to games with multiple endings. You reach a point where you are just kind of clicking through dialogue a lot. So we've kind of reached the end stage of this one clearly. Okay, this time, what happens if we try leaving without taking the projector reel? If we leave it up exactly as it was? I mean, I came all this way, it doesn't make sense, but thankfully I had to save strategically. And away we go. Well, we got an achievement for not touching it, so that must mean that we got another ending. The High Priestess. A dozen endings, only 3 to go. So, just who are you, Lila? Oh, I'm Will's Tulpa, but that's only the most basic story, isn't it? He's made me after the passing of his mother to... Oh, wait. No. I'm the vengeful spirit of the girl named Tanya Kennedy, and... Oh, no, wait. I'm a scientific experiment conducted by the US government to brainwash its citizens to... Or am I a metaphor for mental abuse everybody has seen about 100 times already? You're poking fun at the horror genre as a whole, are you? And the truth is, you're none of those things and all of those things, huh? Actually, the whole concept of this game meshes really well with the themes David Lynch has established in a lot of his work. Or am I a twisted incarnation of Will's dark, tormented psyche? Ooh. Which one is it, detective? Playful as usual, I see. Don't worry, Lila. I won't stop until I find out. Even if it means I'm feeding you in the process. Please do, my friend. That's all. I think the only other things I can do involve going through that interrogation again, and that's gonna be a slog. Now, what if we were to take this down, but not click on it again? Well, actually, it doesn't seem like we even still have the wheel in our inventory at all. Look at that, I hadn't even realized this was an option. We can leave it completely blank. I imagine what happens here is dependent on the state we leave this projector in. The image of Lila, William, or nothing at all. It's actually now that it all makes sense what the wheel is, that it was the image of William. We have to think about what that means because we arrive there through the boiler room. We start the game in fear of the one that hides amid the boilers. Maybe it was meant to keep us from reaching there. Hey, I just noticed that looked like William, or maybe the stranger standing on the shore. These graphics, it's hard to see things, but there are details hiding among it. We just got another achievement. Which one were you? The fool. Was that not the right thing to do? In tarot, this is my favorite card. The Fool. I get what you're saying. Too bad we're here now. Yes. Seems like whatever William did there didn't really help. Still, I like to imagine him some other place. So if we hadn't had the wheel when we arrived, that was actually probably the best outcome. If we hadn't had it, we'd have been able to do nothing or remove the wheel, but because we got it earlier, we had a choice. Still, I like to imagine him some other place. As clear-minded and childlike as the Fool. Not remembering and not assessing the junk around him. Just being. Which is all you want, so maybe that resonates with you. That's why you envy us, isn't it? You can't do that yourself. And you rely on food we humans give you. Maybe that's what you're getting at. She tries to convince William that a person only exists as a construct of other observers. But you do seem to be a bit caught off guard by that one, so who knows? I don't envy anybody you. There's no use in comparing stupid glass shards, even if you think one of them is yours. Maybe we've got you on the ropes now. In any case, I am all out of time. That took a surprisingly long while, even if it's going to edit down to not much, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, now this is going to be the difficult part. And I am looking at a guide for this. We need to make a series of correct facial expressions going through the interview. Do you know why we're here? No, I don't. Neutral? Not surprised. Not surprised. Angry. How is that a smile? How is that? Thank you. Don't play dumb. If we find even a little bit of DNA on that saw, and I'm sure we will, then you're screwed, William. Because even if you wash the blood off, you still have little things, like fibers. Also, if the bone was cut, we can identify the exact instrument. Just by the marks on the bone. It's absolutely precise. We can find out everything about up to the specific model of the instrument used. Might as well tell me how you did it. Please, Will. It's no use now. I'll tell you something an old friend of mine used to say. Of all the people in the world, the best and the worst are drawn to dead dog. Most turn away. Only those with the purest of hearts can feel its pain. I know you aren't a bad guy, William. I know you can feel the pain of others. You mentioned killing the dog for Lila. Can't you? I didn't do it, sir. William Clark. You don't get it, do you? Will, friend, buddy. We have the evidence. You messed up. You messed up and left your fingerprints all over her. Well, guess what? That's enough information for us to deduce who the culprit is. You remember him talking about the DNA tests not being done yet. And you made sure William wore gloves. It's not me. I told you, we know it's you. It's not a question of who, but how and why. Tell me, buddy, why'd you do it? I didn't do it. Your face remained. How is that neutral? This probably looked convincing. Then who did, Will? I don't know. You don't know, do you? Unfortunately, Will, there's about 2 ways this can go. First, you quit messing around and tell me who you're trying to protect. Second, you get to be the one to hold full responsibility. And let me remind you, we are talking first-degree murder here, William. Are you sure you don't want to open up? Just tell me the name, buddy. This might be your chance. The name is... And in the end we get... I think this is going to be the same exact ending. We need to enable the accessibility because it's nearly impossible to actually control your face during those moments. I shot Darnell, yeah, I shot him with my 9. Shot him 9 times, 9 p.m. on the dime. And by the way, it was November 9th. I'm just... Wait, it's not working. Those are just rumors, I swear. We didn't... Well, that's understandable. Don't get all worked up. I know how kids are sometimes. Did you talk after that party? No, we stopped. That's why I didn't know she was missing until now. And why did you stop talking? I don't know, it just kind of happened. Did you two have a fight? No. Why do you think you stopped talking? Well, I guess she just thought I was boring. I might not be the best person to hang around. And why is that? I don't know. I guess I was just born that way. It's kind of always been like that. Always, huh? Have you been a lonely kid at school? Yeah, I didn't have friends. Never really. Didn't you have friends when you were young? It's usually easier to make friends when you're a kid. Not really. Just my mom. Are you on good terms with your mom now? She's passed away, sir. I understand. Did it happen a long time ago? It's been 3 years now, sir. Must have been tough. Yes, sir. It felt impossible to bear for a while. Can you tell me more about her? She was great, honestly. She cared about me a lot. A bit too much at times. How's that? Well, she'd meet me from school until I was about 12. She always knew what was up with me. Was very strict about my grades. That's because she loved me. She did do some strange things sometimes, but I guess it's because she felt lonely. What things would that be, Will? Well, my mom had a thing that I wasn't allowed to date until I was 16. I was friends with a girl, and I kinda, You liked her, right? Yeah. Her name was Annie. Did your mom know? Yeah, she did. She didn't like that, obviously. She started talking to me a lot about her, trying to convince me that I shouldn't be interested in girls yet. Or something. That couldn't have been true. I mean, how old were you? 15. So, what happened then? At some point, she stopped with her lectures. I thought she was finally cool with my choices. Until I brought Annie to our house. What did your mother do? She asked if she could talk to us. We said yes, so she sat us across the table, and she started saying nasty things. Disturbing, shameful things. About me, and about her. Some of them were true. Some made up. I remember I started crying, begging her to stop. And she just sat there talking monotonously, her eyes fixed at Annie. She kept repeating, "Annie, you're such a naughty, naughty girl." You said that when we examined Martha's bed. Annie wouldn't talk to me after that. I thought I'd never forgive Mom, but, you know, I guess when you live with somebody, you always forgive them at some point. That sounds terrible, Will. Life must have been hard with a parent like this. No, she protected me, you know? I guess she just wanted to be the only one I cared about. That's normal for a human, isn't it? That's weird phrasing. Can I ask you how she died? I can't remember too much for some reason. I just know one day there was a problem with the piping. She went down to fix it and... You can't speak further. Well, that explains the one who hides in boilers, doesn't it? Well, not explains, but gives context to. It's alright, Will. Sorry, I just really miss her, sir. Let's change the topic for now. Now, I'm not going to grill you about this, but I know you've been part of a certain okay, we've seen this already. Alright, now we need scared. You look scared. Of course you do, buddy. Come on, Tanya Kennedy. When did you last see her? We're going to remain scared for a little while, almost like we have a strategy guide. No, not disgusted. You said scared! You remember him talking about the DNA tests not being done yet. And you made sure William wore gloves. He says there are fingerprints all over her body. In other words, checkmate. It's not me. I told you we know it's you. It's not a question of who, but of how and why. Tell me, buddy, why'd you do it? I didn't do it. Then who did, Will? Who did? I don't know. Look, are you covering for someone? Is there a person you're protecting? This sounds promising. No. No, I'm not. Because if you are, it's useless, Will. This won't help you when you go to prison. They aren't even your real friends. Trust me, buddy. They aren't your real friends. I don't know who it was, sir. Alright, you see? Okay, well, that went a little bit differently from before. So, was there any other reason why you decided to stay home that day? I'm telling you, I don't know what made me do this. Just a bad premonition, I guess. Hey, what's that smell? Why do you smell of detergent, William? What? It's impossible. It must be literally impossible for them to smell it. Now that you mention it. Were you cleaning your apartment today, Will? No. No, sir. All right, Fisher. I think the DNA tests are ready by now. Want to check them out? Sure. I think I know what the result's going to be. Don't you, Will? And we get justice. Which I find it hard to complain about. There it is down there. We're only missing the one more. The wind's picking up. I swear, the wind outside my window always seems to increase and become more ominous the closer I am to solving a mystery in a game. Alright. What do you have to say about justice being done? Also, I guess in the other ending, they just didn't bother with the rest of the test. So, a place where we met first. You might not know it, but I've been watching you intently, Lila. From the point William woke up in his apartment, right until the end. In other words, where we joined. So, did it help you? Not yet. I'm still not quite sure. If I'm being frank, I have almost no idea about what happened before. Or after this day. I appreciate your bluntness, Detective. Does it feel right that William is most likely going to be prosecuted? I'm not sure. You see, at that point, I didn't know William that well. To be quite honest with you, I feel a bit cheated. I'm not sure if the way it ended was the victory of good, or a terrible mistake. No doubt mirroring the player's own thoughts on the situation. Too bad, Detective. Not unlike me, you don't seem to be too easily satiable. Maybe we could talk over some more cards. Sure. But only once we get the last one, and for that, we're gonna have to go through the interrogation. Actually, I think we need to commit the murder again. Oddly enough, I didn't actually get the ending I was going for, so that's extremely confusing. Instead, I got justice. I was going for strength, which is the final one. How does that work? If we smile here, and then go angry, what are you, a child? Don't you realize you'll get in trouble for violent behavior again? Well, that's new. What are you gonna tell on me? Look, buddy, I don't care much at this point. I'll quit school if it means finding Tanya. Will you go to court, too? What are you talking about? The cops are here. Isn't that so, Martha? I talked to a police officer today, yes? They must still be here. I said I don't care. Tanya's gone and she went missing after she went to your place. Martha's told us. Okay, we need to be scared. That's not true. Mike notices you're scared of him. He feels more confident. Just answer me, man. I'm telling you, I'm not that patient. What's up? Cat got your tongue? Spill it, freak. Or do you want to get beat? Huh? You want it? I do not, but we need to remain scared. Well, I guess there's just one thing left to do, buddy. Mike, please wait. Come here, punk. Mike is sure you're defenseless. This is your chance. There is a path to win. Those are some visceral sounds. This is almost like the fight from the Bathhouse remastered. Oh my god! Will, stop! Stop it! Get away from Graves, you... Mike, are you okay? Is that blood? Man, can you hear us? We need to get him to the hospital quick. Now's the perfect time to abscond. You have a new task, get to Martha's apartment. No good things here. Now with this guy, we can take an angry face both times. Well, I haven't seen you before, blah blah blah. You got a problem with that old geezer? Who do you think you're talking to? Look here, young delinquent. Shut up, you old raspberry. You made an angry face. Mind your own business. Scram, old man. What, do you want me to cut you? He smiles in disbelief. What is all this? Do you think you're scaring anybody, punk? You reach in your pocket. He seems to have changed his mind. Get the hell away from me. His voice cracks. I sure hope you'll leave this place now, because I'm calling 911 the minute I'm in my apartment. He leaves. What he said is troubling, but you have a more important task at hand. We're going to keep our angry face. She screams for help. And she takes a punch for her trouble.
The name is Lila.
Wait, what? Hang on, wait, you're talking to me about bruises. That didn't happen this time. Hey, Ted? I think they want to see you. Oh? Fisher. We've got news. There's been a murder at Birthwood. The only ending where they seem to discover Martha's body. And that guy would certainly know. No way. Is it the one we talked to? Today? We don't know if it's Miss Jennings yet. A tenant called in. His name was Murray, I think. Hey, kid. We have a lot to talk about. Loser, you've lost your chance. But that's not a card. Okay. I am looking at the full guide now for the strength ending, and this is incredibly annoying. You basically have to play the entire game a very specific way for this to work. Like, right down to the faces you practice in the mirror in the beginning. And as far as I can tell, this is the only ending that is affected by this stuff. If I see a dead dog on the street, I'll make a face like this. And this one's interesting because the idea of the dead dog has been brought up several times, first here, then in Fisher's interrogation, and finally we mentioned having killed a dog for Lila. Maybe that would be affected by our answer as well. Now in this case, we actually need to make a sad face if our sworn enemy died. Isn't it scary? I've heard all this destruction of self-talk, but it always sounded kind of creepy and edgy. I wanted to try tulpomancy at some point, but the very prospect of losing myself to a tulpa scared the crap out of me. You know, like Coomer and Oguigi? Who knows? It's not about destruction, Mandy. All destruction, all pain, honestly, comes from this, divide, I guess. The self, I mean. The self is, by its essence, a divide. The moment you start dividing the inner and the outer, problems come. How can you not do that, though? You have your body and mind, so do I. It's so weird that we even do think that way. Inner, outer, or just words, honestly. Say you have a bubble and you say it's your bubble, and I have a bubble and I say it's mine. Uh-huh. And then they both pop and suddenly it's just the air. How can you say it's my air? Hey, Jay, I think he's here again. Yeah, I know. What the hell does he want, I wonder? Alright, fine, screw you. This room can take any number of forms. We could have heard that earlier and it would have been foreshadowing, now it's just reaffirmment. This one wants us to remain angry all throughout this encounter. Say, Martha, what did I say immediately when Tanya introduced him to us? You don't have to do this, Mike. I said, hope she doesn't hook up with that freak, didn't I? I could just smell it in you. Just in how you look and move around. How no one knew where you came from and how you had no friends. Tell me, are you happy now? Mike, stop it. We don't even know for sure he has anything to do with it. Oh. Oh, Martha, but wasn't it you who passed the word around? Because of you, everyone and their mother knows about me and Graves' girlfriend. She wasn't talking to you, freak. And you don't have to be a detective to notice that something was wrong between you two. She loved me more than you. Shut up. And, well, shut up, I said. She told me she's... And we're getting mead. Well, time to go kill Martha. Okay, now with all of that done, we're gonna try something I tried before, which is going to be scared, largely. Good thing I have more time. Oddly enough, we need to reduce our confidence level. Okay, so with you, we need to go scared. I said scared. Okay, so with you, we need to go scared, scared, and scared. But only here, only for a moment, we crack a smile. Which is real interesting. What, do you think I'm joking with you? Like, we allow the facade to drop for just a moment. Buddy, there's a dismembered body found near your apartment. Do you even realize what's going to happen to you? I didn't do it. We're immediately back to the routine. No, no. Please don't make me. No. No, no, no! It's just not... She didn't... She wasn't even scared when I killed her. I killed her, sir. I killed Tanya Kennedy. Thank you, Will. You did a good job just now. Oh, God. Was Will able to overcome just there? Well, that is the strength ending. I suppose it makes sense for that to be the most difficult one. And I guess one would hope that more could come of that. It's an ending where William is alive and in custody, and everyone is aware, at the very least, of what did happen. Then again, maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe that means more will learn about Lila. In any case, the only thing we have to do is see what you has to say about it. No demon present, no nothing. What? How did this happen? Did Will turn himself in? Was it your plan all along, Lila? But I thought it ended a different way. Well, it ends every way, I suppose. I don't get it. Have you heard of The Garden of Forking Paths, Detective? Bohr's short story? Yes. I mean, I get it. The story could have unraveled in many different ways, and so on. You don't have to be a genius to understand that there are multiple possible routes. But which one of them actually happened? You don't get it. They all happened. But... in alternative universes or something? No. In this universe, silly. But which one is canonical? All of them are. And none of them are. You seem to think that some of the dreams you see are more important than others, Detective. I suggest you reconsider. And it makes sense. I mean, canon isn't a real concept. You're arguing about what really happened in something that didn't really happen. In this case, it just acknowledges that. I mean, we could easily say that what really happened is the first ending we got, but we've been pursuing the rest this entire time, and he's been aware of all of these. All happened and none happened, from their perspective and ours. All of them are equally ephemeral. All of them are nothing but dreams. Warning, wait, debug log, warning, missing header at you end part 2. A fake unfound file. If it's easier to understand that way, an identity is like a piece of semi-transparent film. It lies in a ray of light, so the light thinks it's that piece of film. Doesn't the light itself want to know what it is? I know I want to know what light is. Neither the film nor the light want things. It's just written on the film. I want to know what light is. I don't get it. It's like when reading a book. On their own, the characters are just a bunch of symbols. But your attention makes them kind of alive. It's as if they borrow your mind as simulation space. Now that's interesting. To play out their consciousness. It's like a wind-powered walking machine. Your attention makes it move and act as a living thing. But when it's still, it loses its meaning. Wait, so you, on the other hand, you are composed by an intersection of many rays of attention, aren't you? Very good, yes. But even if I were to get rid of all of them, you wouldn't disappear. Now, I was about to say, you're telling us things we already knew, but this is a development. You wouldn't disappear? Why? Well, I guess I can just straight up tell you. No. But we won't be privy to it. First of all, this game really is a love letter to Lynch. No! God, no! Sometimes a piece of film is designed in such a way that when catching the light of attention once, it tries to do every little thing to keep it to itself. It creates mazes and unbelievable fractals of mystery. You see, the beauty of it is, its structure is not random. There's always an underlying logic, and a single correct interpretation of its narrative. But is it even obtainable at this point? I don't know. This piece is always designed to be just about explainable. Just about explainable. I've never heard it put better than that. For this game and, well, for all dreamlike media. And for dreams. But small contradictions and unspoken details usually prevent the full picture from being formed. So, what? Was it all to... Yes. Yes. So this must be the most vile and the last trick of them all. But that's the end, and, well, much like your explanation of the end, I just feel like I almost understand it, and that is so frustrating and so fascinating. Well, that was an incredible experience, and this is one of those times where I have spent so much time talking about it that there's not really anything I can add in closing, except that, well, as a love letter to David Lynch's work and to dream logic and to surreal media in general, I feel like it's a fantastic representation of almost understanding. It's even got a jazzy soundtrack, almost like later Angelo Badalamenti, doesn't it? It's got a philosophical, but also such a human side to it, where in the end, it's just people trying to understand themselves. You can almost view the story without a paranormal lens, and the first time through, that's what happened for me. Now, I'm sure it's entirely possible for other endings to be gotten first, and depending on the order you go, it's probably going to present differently to others. It's almost like the story is designed to be told in pieces that are each entirely self-contained and independent, but which form one whole. Really an intersection, I suppose, of all the perspectives. And that gives us maybe the most complete picture, but that doesn't make the individual pictures any less self-contained. This really is a triumph of narrative storytelling, and it's one that can only be told interactively. It's got ARG elements, which I normally don't really care for, but it's done in a very downplayed fashion where there's really only a couple of things you need, and it's not super hard to figure out what you need to do, although I did need a guide to tell me to reset the system clock. I mean, I couldn't put this down. I beat the whole thing probably around 8 hours now in 2 sessions. And it's because, first of all, it actually waited until a few hours in, at least from my perspective, to even begin to explain who Lila is. But that's not the main question. We do learn what she is after a few more hours of gameplay, and the entire time you're on that trail, it is so fascinating trying to unravel these different threads. But then once you do, you're not done yet, because by now, she's got you. You are both Will trying to navigate this journey, and you trying to learn more from her. It's, in a way, it's like you're playing multiple perspectives simultaneously, or I guess all of them simultaneously. And once you are fully hooked like that, you realize at a certain point, you don't even realize when it's happened, that you're no longer trying to figure out who she is. You're trying to dissect the nature of reality itself. At that point, you're essentially going out and just finding all the pieces so that you can come back and let her break down your reality a little bit more. And you think it's for the same reason as before, that you want to know more, that you want to learn more about her, but you're not even learning about her anymore. At that point, she's just completely deconstructing what it even means to be a person. By having 15 different endings, which are essentially just story beats, you always feel like you're constantly arriving at your destination and in pursuit of it. And, well, isn't that just like a dream? You can never quite reach what it is you're after, even though it always feels like it's right there in front of you. And then when you finally do, when it seems like there's nowhere else to go, you simply wake up, unsatisfied. That's what that final ending feels like to me, like I almost understood it, like I almost caught what I was pursuing, and then it slipped away right in the end. But with what's there, I'm going to be ruminating on it and thinking about it for a long time. No matter what, though, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.